butcher shop associated with it, so you really do have a passion for beef and meats.
I love it. I started my apprenticeship as a butcher, and look, you know, to me, the quality of a butcher is all about how much he cares about what he does. And I started as a 17-year-old working in a butcher shop.
Did you really?
Yeah, yeah. I did a
Wow.
year of my apprenticeship as a butcher, and then I transferred over to become a chef because I love both. I love to cook, but I love the craft of butchering. And about 4 years ago, my brother, who also was a butcher as a kid, we both decided that we'd open our first butcher shop in Hollywood, California, and we did it right there on Sunset Boulevard. And here it is. This is me and the guys in the butcher shop. We buy the best meats from the most incredible farmers. We're super proud of our farmers. We make sure that our animals are super well taken care of. We really just drill right down as to what's the very best way to create something. So what we're bringing to you today, you're seeing beautiful burgers there, and it doesn't matter whether it's burgers or the Tri Tip. You might not have even heard of Tri Tip.
Right.
Tri Tip's something very sort of West Coast, you know, but I can't wait for you to try it because it's a beautiful piece of meat, extremely lean. Here it is right here. And this is just a little example of what we do. So first of all, we marinate that Tri Tip. Very tender piece of meat if it's handled the right way. But if I gave you a recipe, I would be a little bit nervous that you'd get it right. That's why we've done all the work for you, right? What we've done is we've brined this under vacuum. What that means is the vacuum kind of pulls the fibers of the meat apart a little bit. It marinades, it tumbles, it brines, right? And then we release the vacuum and it puts it all back together. But what happens? It captures all of that marinade and brine inside the fiber of the meat.
And hand crust it.
And then what we do is we hand crust it.
With his own formula, his own crusting formula recipe.
You guys, this is
so
like me coming into your home and cooking you dinner. These are the ones that we've roasted. How long did you put them in for, Matt?
35 minutes.
35 minutes.
At what temperature?
375.
375.
375. And when you're cooking beef, depending on whether you want it medium rare, medium well, or well done, you want it somewhere between 120 and 150.
Okay, and you're wondering, why would he be shaking a thermometer?
Because it's kinetic energy, okay, so no batteries required. So this one is 125, so that's right in between rare and medium rare, right? Let's see the next one. I'm just showing you this thermometer because it's a great little tool and you'll want it, whether you're cooking tri-tips or steaks. It's just such a brilliant piece. Imagine roasting chickens too.
My husband 100% needs that tool.
Oh, he'll love it.
Yeah,
he'll absolutely love it. Okay, so you pick up your Tri-Tip. I'm going to bring it over here. Let me just cut it right through the middle for you and just show you. A little on the rarer side, like the thermometer was showing, but look at the juiciness. You know what? That one is still a little too rare, so we'll put that one back. Let me just probe the next one. And this is why the probe is so important, you guys, because you want to make sure that it's cooked right where you want.
And before you cut it.
Before you cut it, of course,
you want the juices to start to release.
Yep, this one's a little on the rarer side too, Matt. Do we have ones that are a little more maybe, mate?
Because I absolutely want to taste it, but not that rare.
Yeah, not that rare. No, you don't. You want this medium rare to medium is what I would sort of say.
Okay, perfect.
That one's at like 125.
Wait, guys, I got to give you a couple updates
Yeah,
while
please.
we're getting the other one hooked up. These are very limited. We're supposed to start out with more, but of course, you guys are smart. You went online, and almost everything he's offered in terms of anything to do with meat is sold out. He did a beef earlier today with Alice. Completely gone in one airing. I was hoping we'd have a few of them left. They saved the Tri-Tip for this show. If you've never tried Tri-Tip, you haven't lived. You don't understand how tender and delicious it truly is. So here's what I have. I have less than 700 that will ship right away. It's called our single ship. I have less than 400 available if you want to keep getting a Tri-Tip on auto ship. And here's the benefit of that. You keep getting the same amount at the same price with free shipping for as long as you stay on auto ship. It comes every 60 days. So you can do one time if you want to try it, or if you know you love Tri-Tip and you trust Chef and you want to stay on auto ship, grab that auto ship. Both of them we expect to sell out within this 2-hour block. So Chef, I just want to give a heads up because there's just not a lot of these available.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you. I mean, have a look here. Have a little taste of this, Suzanne. I'll just cut it down for you. Basically, what you want to do with a Tri-Tip, I mean, look at how juicy. You see that hand-crusted, that beautiful steakhouse crust on the top?
Wow.
There's a little spice in there. It's a bit of a secret recipe. I'm not going to tell you everything that's in there, but you will just absolutely die over the flavor of this. So there's a little cumin, there's a little black pepper, there's some red pepper, there's a little seasoning, salt of course. But can you see the fiber of that meat? And then if I show you here just how juicy and brilliant that is, it is just so, so wonderful.
Why do you think a lot of people aren't familiar with Tri-Tip?
Look, I think it started off in Santa Santa Maria. I always go to call it Santa Rosa, which is a totally different place. Santa Maria. It's that sort of style barbecue, right? So it's a very West Coast thing. And to be honest with you, these ones could use a little bit more heat in them, Matt. They're a little rare and a little under, mate. But look, I'm still going to show you just how juicy and wonderful this is. You're going to have to take my word for it. The flavor of these is just so divine.
Well, there's something so tender about it, and the flavor is so saturated in a Tri Tip. It's completely different than you would consider a regular steak.
Right.
Like, it's very different than a filet. It's very different than even a ribeye.
Right.
It's got a whole different texture and taste to it.
It sure does.
Yeah.
And look, it's a big piece of meat. Let me show you how it comes.
Look, it's
First
two
of all,
packages, 1.5 pounds.
Right.
So you're getting 3
pounds.
pounds of meat.
Exactly. So here's what they look like once we've crusted them, right? So this is the raw product. We're brining it under the vacuum, and then we're crusting it, hand crusting that beautiful pepper. Well, it's a steakhouse seasoning, so there's a variety of different herbs and spices in there. This is how it comes to you.
That's great.
It comes to you frozen rock solid. Listen to this. Right? Frozen rock solid. So when you want it, you just take it out and drop it from the freezer into the refrigerator the day that you're going to cook it. And if you've forgotten about it, you can also just go ahead and stick it straight under running water, and in 20 minutes it will be defrosted. Let me just warm that up a little bit. Have you got one there for me, Matt? And then you see the spices here, just so beautiful. Very, very easy to cook as well. So you just throw them in the oven. Right. Now, if you want to grill them, you can grill them too.
But Chef, here's what I love. You guys go ahead and you cut off all the excess. So what you're buying, like a lot of times when you buy meats in the store, there's the bone and a lot of fat and a lot of extra stuff you don't want on them.
Yep.
What I love is you guys really trim them down to give the very essence of what you want to eat. And so that weight is not a lot of filler, so to speak. It's not nature's filler. What you're getting is full edible meat. And it's 3 pounds. And this is, like, 2 of these is a ton. Like, it's a lot of meat. You can feed a real crowd with it.
I'm also just showing this cutting board one more time while Matt brings me over the Tri Tip. Because, look, on this side, we've got all of the measure marks. We've put in a bunch of measurements and different sort of, this tells you how to do a julienne and a fine julienne, a dice, a medium dice. And then, of course, the other side is the carving board, which has got the channel in so we can actually carve in it. So here we go. Thanks, Matt. So look, you can throw this on the grill, you can toss it in the oven, and like I said, with that little probe thermometer, you won't run into any trouble. Let me show you this right here. When you cut into this beautiful Tri Tip, look at the juiciness on that. Can you see it? Let's see if we can use our little, I've got a little GoPro camera set up here. I mean, look at how juicy and fabulous that steak is.
Yeah, it's amazing.
There, let's have a little taste. It is just so beautiful and very, very tender. Not a naturally tender piece of meat, but because of the marination process, you can see it here. See how it's just literally falling apart? You know, so the right way to carve this is straight down. When you get it, you just carve straight down like that, all the way along the beef.
So it is a carving meat?
It is.
Okay.
Absolutely. So it's a roast.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
There you are, my darling.
Thank you, darling.
You can also, you know, because of the size of this, it's a great thing to cook for a dinner party. It's also great to keep it because you can go ahead and slice it the next day. And look at these beautiful slices of beef.
I'd say it'd be great on a sandwich.
It's so good
that
on a
would
sandwich.
Like be insane. If you're having a football party and you're having a bunch of people come over, you feed them this, they're just going to be raving.
And they'll be like, what is it?
What? Yeah.
Don't tell them. Just say it's a secret recipe. Don't tell them where you got it. Don't tell them that you didn't do all the hard work.
Now, please remember, we have single ship, so if you just want to try the Tri Tip, you can. Or we have auto ship. If you want to keep getting the same price, free shipping, you can ask for auto ship, and I know those are really limited. All right, Chef, we're going to wrap this one up. Oh, also, don't forget, we have the 3-pack of his 32-ounce sides. I do want to mention that.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to do the whole meal, we have side dishes that are cream corn, barbecued baked beans, and mashed potatoes. Ask about those. Those are very, very limited. They are almost completely gone. I think I've got maybe 200 in this, and then that's it.
So this is the bacon baked beans. I'm pouring it right into my casserole dish right here.
Is that your secret, like, recipe?
It sure is. It's all these ingredients. So we dry soak those pinto beans. Oh yeah, absolutely. Bacon, a little bit of smokiness.
I thought it was great you did cream corn.
Cream corn, but with a little bit of fire roasted jalapeno. So you get that little bit of spice and that beautiful sweetness. It works so nicely together.
And I love a ready-to-go mashed potato.
And then a little mashed potato, and we've just put a little hint of